any art.
Yo, what's up guys? So here's what I got going on. I got a couple of mural projects coming up in the next few weeks, but it's winter, it's January. I'm in the northeast of the US, right outside of New York City, or I'm in Philadelphia a lot. It's cold, it's miserable, it sucks. No one likes it. Alright, when it snows it's pretty nice, but you know, I can't get outside and paint a lot. You know, there's some spots and there's a few days here or there, but I want to keep my skills sharp, and you know, I've been doing a lot of like gesture drawing work and just kind of going back to the copybook or hitting Procreate, but it's just not the same, right? So I found this little spot down in the basement. I cleared it out. I've been just playing around, but it's been a challenge. You know, you gotta take what you can get, but it's kind of like this porous surface. I don't know if it's like stucco or what that's really called, but it's got kind of like these holes in it, as well as that line, these lines you can see where, you know, the cinder blocks are placed. I guess that's a good way to describe it. It's like cinder blocks. So very difficult to paint on, especially with soft brushes. I just kind of using whatever I had in my bag here. You know, maybe if I use like an outdoor house brush, like, you know, I've done some painting just like for my parents' house or whatever, you know, a little stiffer bristles and hold up probably a little bit better. But you know, it's been a learning experience, and sometimes that's the best thing. You take what you can get and you wind up gaining a lot of knowledge in the process that you wouldn't have if everything was, you know, perfect hunky-dory. But definitely on something like this, I would use, you know, a combination of mini rollers and just spray paint. You can see, sorry, the lighting's a little weird. I'm down in this dungeon, but you know, I really would advise you just take whatever you can get. I seen another YouTuber. He was just using plywood and spray painting it out in his yard. So, you know, whatever you can use to kind of keep your skills, you know, level up, do it. You know, take what you got. So now I'm going to go through some of the supplies I've been using and some of the things I've learned about, you know, some supplies that are new to me but popular in the industry. Hey, what's going on? So I have a mural project coming up next week at a bar in Philadelphia. It's called Interstate Draft House. Incredible food, good beers. But basically it's like this southern style kind of like roadhouse bar. They got a bunch of stuff up all over the walls already, but they have some space in the back that's kind of dark by the bathrooms, but it's kind of where everyone has to go by. So they wanted to brighten up a little bit, so I decided to use some different materials this time around. I'm going to use the Molotov, or I don't know, I always thought it was Molotov. I don't know why. I'm like that person that sounds like an idiot because I hear something once and that's how I think it's pronounced, and I keep saying it and people are like, what are you talking about? Maybe it's because I'm into the Molotov cocktails from Grand Theft Auto, but either way, decided to use the Molotov One for All series of products. Sorry, it's hard to see, I'm down here in the dungeon, but these are pretty good. Yeah, these are cool. You know, it's a whole system. It's like spray paint, markers, refills, ink refills. If you've ever used like the Posca marker, this is similar to that with like the pump action and the capillary system. But this is the 4mm tip, just the tip. I will say this is pretty much unusable on this wall because it's like that porous kind of cinder block wall. I'd probably need like a chisel tip or 15mm. But what I've been doing is just pumping it out and using just some basic brushes to kind of pick it up, and I'll just use a brush to do like the line work. In addition to that, I'm also using the golden fluid acrylics just to play around on this wall. I got these a couple of months back, first time using them actually. I was doing it for a concept art for another mural, and I was doing it on a canvas, and I found it just didn't work for me. I don't know, you know, if I was doing something or if it was the canvas was, you know, more of an inexpensive canvas or what, but these just didn't cover that well. The really dark color did, but when I used like a lighter blue maybe, or like, you know, yellow. You could see the canvas underneath, and it was kind of like that look of like cheap kindergarten finger paints where, you know, they just don't give you the coverage that you want, and the opacity that you want. But what I found is, you know, I was disappointed. Obviously, they're pretty expensive. Some of these, you know, for these like little vials are like $10. I guess because, you know, whatever, if they're cadmium or whatever kind of, you know, they're expensive, and I was kind of pissed. But then I decided a couple days ago when I started this to use them on the wall, and honestly, they're great. I don't, you know, just goes to show you, you know, never, you know, use a medium on one thing and then kind of pick your verdict there. Play around with stuff. You know, I put these on this wall, and, you know, you can see it's great. It went right over the white on a, you know, a pretty beat up industrial kind of wall, and you know, the colors are bright. And definitely, you know, from everything I've read about these and been told, they hold up under, you know, UV and the weather fantastic. So seems like it's all good. Maybe, you know, play around with them, kind of let me know, you know, your experience. I'm curious, you know, what people do with their stuff, because again, I just play around and kind of see what happens. But right now I'm having a good time, so hope you enjoy the video. I'm gonna get back to working on this piece here. Peace out.
Under this week's mail and a brand new couch from a closeout sale, and it's too much. If you want it, take it all today. You can have it, it means nothing to me. It's nothing to me. Got a box of LPs and a box of shreds. Can't leave it in the street, so it's under my bed. It's too much. If you want it, take it all today. You can have it, it means nothing to me. It's nothing to me. So many books to read, but they're locked away. Thought I had the key, must have made a mistake, 'cause it's too much. If you want it, take it.
So this is how it turned out in the end. Now, although this is far from perfect, and I definitely see some things I know I can improve, I'm happy because I did what I set out to do. I tried some new mediums on a new surface. I had a bunch of fun, got to play around, and now when I move on to another project, I'll have a whole bunch of new skills and knowledge that I can use. And you know, that's really what it's all about. Hey guys, thanks for joining me. This was my basement wall mural practice video. As much as I dig this piece, I am going to paint right over it. Right here next to it, I already have the next one ready to go. So if you enjoyed this video, hit like and subscribe. I'm definitely going to keep doing these. For me, it's fantastic practice, but also this is where I do most of my workouts. I have my exercise bike, my treadmill, and a yoga mat. I do most of like my band workouts down here. So for me, it gives me something else to look at besides a white wall, which, you know, is kind of the most basic point of a mural, right? You know, gets the creative thoughts going, and it's just good inspiration for me while I'm down here doing those workouts. Next week, I'm going to be doing a mural in a bar in Philadelphia's Fishtown neighborhood. If you've never been to Philly and you're going to come, or you want to come, check out Fishtown. It's a ton of cool bars, restaurants, music venues, comedy clubs, all sorts of cool stuff. and I'm just super thankful to have my art be a piece of this cool neighborhood. So stick around, guys, and I'll see you then. Thanks.